What's up, guys? Got a cool build to show off going out to my buddy Reggie. He wanted a 49ers build. So I did a brass dial. We lasered it out, and then the wife painted it. Did the black through here, the red through here in enamel paint. And then actually filled in some of your marks all the way around here so that they'd stand out a little bit, because lasered on brass just kind of shows up the same way, just kind of a lighter kind of tone. And then so some of this is lasered out completely, and then backside filled with lume. So your numbers are lasered out, so you can see that these items here are lumed around. The hands were silver before. We stripped those down. She painted them in black and then lumed them. So custom painted enamel dial, custom painted hands, and relumed. And then that dial is clear coated after that. I didn't want that brass, kind of turning on them. Granted, over time it still could, I guess, but it's been clear coated fairly heavily without getting too crazy. Black cerakoted case, black cerakoted shark tooth bezel, crown, and engineered band, as well as the caseback. And when we did that, we went ahead and lasered ahead of time, so might be a little tough to see. It gets a very, very rainy, and there we go. You can see the SF logo right there, and then so lasered it first, then cerakoted over top of it so it's ghosted in there. And we did the same with the caseback, and that might be a little bit tougher to see. It's in there, and I might be holding it upside down, which I think I am. So can we get focus? You can see it, it's there, I swear. We did the same thing with the 49ers right here across the upper of the double lock clasp. So that opens, pinch, and then apply it back down. This has quick disconnects on the spring bars. And then we have a high gloss ceramic insert, which obviously, man, you can see the fingerprints on that mirror finish. So with the the hour indicators with the red 12. I guess it wouldn't be a 12, it'd just be a red triangle. So I just say with the red triangle. There you go. Yeah, I can see that. Anyway, that is the build. I thought it came out pretty freaking awesome. Bezel will turn left, it'll turn right. It is a tension ring bezel, so it does not click. Automatic mechanical, so you can wear it. You can put it in a watch winder. You can wind it. But if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, make sure you wind it just a little bit. And how you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. At that point, you can wind, and a wind is a turn that way. Turning it towards you doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to keep your finger spacing and just go back and forth. So you do that for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on. Even if you're not very active, you'll keep time throughout the day. And if you do it for something closer to 15, 20 seconds, you're going to max out that 31+ hour power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. When you're happy with your winding, you'll pull it to the one and only click, and you can set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown that deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement. So when you're pushing and prying on it, you're not putting any adverse pressure on there. It just kind of rolls with it a little bit. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 12:12 p.m.
12:12 p.m. That's very good. Push it over, get it out of that time setting. And then wind it down. And if it's not catching, go back just a little bit and then start winding it down. But that is the build, sir. Hope you like it, dude. Obviously, you're going to have to resize a little bit. It's pretty simple on that. I go over this from time to time. Once you get cerakoted, it's a little bit harder to see. But if you can see where they're flush, that's the side you don't hit. You want the side where it's dimpled down in, okay? You'll feed that back through, and you'll feed your essentially cotter pen looking pin back through. So one side's tapered, one side's bent down on itself, and then one side just has it where you could open it. So the side that's folded over on itself is what you feed through. So, and then when you tap it through, it goes flush. So it might look like a screw head, but that's just two pieces folded back on themselves. So pound it out that way, feed it back through the same way. So you only always feed it through with the pointed end, the side that does not have the little line through it, and feed it back through the same way that you see. So if you see the lines that way, that's the top of the head, so you're going to feed it through that way so that that will shine up on top. If you put it in reverse the other way, which you can, it just looks silly, but you can do that. Then the other side is just reversed. So see how they're right here, and see how they're not here over here? No dimples here, dimples there. So that's how you do that. As with every build, it's going to come with matching beads, entirely up to you, whether you wear those or not. We got some brass colored. Those aren't brass. This is brass, or brass colored. You know, I really don't know. I shouldn't say that it's brass. I know that it's metal, but is it brass? I don't know that part. So matching beads go with it. This is going to come in a black BBW box. And then I got the closest pillow that I had with red in it for you. This will come with watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts. This watch as a whole, non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue. And this is similar to what you're going to use to take your fingerprints off. Though you can just buff them off with your microfiber. So microfiber included. But you're also going to have some scratch remover. This is for the acrylic glass because you can scratch it if you do. Put a tiny bit of this on it, buff it out using your microfiber. If it's up and down, go left and right, fill it in, haze it a bit, and then polish it off. That said, if you scratch the cerakote, it's like scratching your car. If you just scratch the upper, quote, upper layer, you can use some like gun oil on it, and you might be able to mask it. But if you go all the way down to the silver, just the same as on your car, you're going to have it redone. So, just an FYI. But this is gun cerakote. It is very durable, but you can scratch it. I've taken stuff like a Dremel to them, and it takes a while to start getting through it with like a brush filter on the end of it. It takes a while to kind of get through it, kind of like burns through. But you can definitely like scratch it on something super abrasive, you know, brick or something like that, and it will come right off. So just keep that in mind. And that's your build, man. I thank you so much for reaching out to me, and I hope you like it. I think it turned out pretty awesome, and I was happy with how well the wife painted it, and just how it all came together. So, also, one other thing to mention I can see from here is you have a brass glass tension ring going around there. It just gives a little bit of pop. So can't really tell that it's there because it looks like it's just part of the brass style, but if you see from the side where it's coming up, from here to here, that is a brass ring that's pressed into the back side of the glass. So it actually does not make contact with the dial, but it looks like it does. So that's your build, man. Thank you so much for your support. If you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.